This is DD India and you're watching Express News, a program where we bring you top 100 news of the day. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched multiple development projects for Mahakumbh 2025 in Prayagraj city of northern state of Uttar Pradesh. Prime Minister inaugurated the projects for river Ganga that aim to ensure zero discharge of untreated water into the river. The PM also launched the Kumbh Sahayak chatbot that will provide details to give guidance and updates on the events of Mahakumbh. Prime Minister Modi also offered prayers at the sacred tree in the Hindu temple Akshay Vat and Lete Hanuman temple. He also visited the Mahakumbh exhibition site. India's External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal informed that Indians in Canada have been advised by the government to exercise caution after 3 Indian students were killed in Canada recently. Randhir Jaiswal also said that India conveyed its support for democratic and inclusive Bangladesh, and India's Foreign Secretary raised the issue of attacks on minorities in his recent visit to Bangladesh. MEA spokesperson also said that Indian embassies in Syria and Lebanon worked closely for evacuation of 77 Indians from Syria. Sri Lankan President Anura Adisyanayake will visit India from December 15th to 17th. He will hold talks with President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The 15th India-UAE Joint Commission meeting was held in New Delhi on Friday, which was co-chaired by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and UAE's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. India remembers the martyrs who sacrificed their lives while defending Parliament House from a dastardly terror attack on this day in 2001. Several leaders paid floral tributes to the fallen soldiers. India's lower house of Parliament began its 2-day special debate on the Constitution on Friday to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the adoption of India's Constitution. A similar debate is slated to take place in the upper house on December 16th and 17th and will culminate with a reply by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday. In Parliament, India's Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar, said that the final disengagement agreements had been completed between India and China. Regarding India-Pakistan relations, Dr. S. Jaishankar stated that India would like to have good relations with Pakistan that are free of terrorism. While in the upper house of Parliament, uproar over the no-confidence motion against the House chairman disrupted the proceedings today. While arguing with the leader of opposition, Jagdeep Dhankar said he wouldn't be cowed down by the opposition's move, accusing it of insulting the constitution. In Chhattisgarh, 2 Naxalites were killed in an encounter with security forces in Nendra Punnur forests in Bijapur this morning. 2 12-bore guns, Naxal uniforms, literature, explosives were recovered. On the issue of farmers' protest at the Punjab-Haryana border, the Supreme Court said that the committee can convince the farmers to either shift the venue and clear the highway or pause the protest for a while. 4 Delhi schools and India's central bank, the RBI, got bomb threat in an email leading to a multi-agency search of the premises. Similar incidents earlier were deemed hoax. In a major push for the self-dependent India, the Ministry of Defence signed a contract with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited to procure 12 Su-30 Make-1 fighter jets. India's benchmark Sensex ended with 880 points up and Nifty closed above 24,750 as the market made a sharp recovery today. The Indian rupee ended 7 paise higher to stand at 84 rupees 79 paise per dollar on Friday. Global crude oil prices nudged upwards on Friday, heading for their first weekly rise since the end of November. The dollar headed for its best weekly performance in a month on Friday as investors priced in the possibility of the Federal Reserve cutting rates more slowly next year. The US Securities and Exchange Commission has reopened an investigation into Elon Musk's brain chip startup Neuralink. Asia shares fell on Friday while longer-dated Treasury yields are headed for their biggest weekly rise in a year on receding US rate cut expectations for 2025. Japanese big manufacturers' sentiment improved slightly in the 3 months to December, a quarterly survey showed on Friday. Britain's economy shrank for a second month in October in the run-up to the new government's first budget. Gross domestic product in the UK shrank 0.1% month-on-month in October as it did in September. The European Central Bank is likely to further ease interest rates next year and is at ease with market projections for future rates. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in Turkey for talks focused on establishing stability in Syria after clashes between forces backed by the US and Turkey. US Secretary of State met with Turkish President and discussed the latest developments in Syria and called on the international community to work together in Syria. The G7 leaders will meet virtually on Friday to discuss the momentous changes underway in Syria, where the interim government has vowed to institute the rule of law. G7 leaders called for the protection of human rights, including those of women and minorities, and stressed on holding Assad regime accountable for its crimes. The United States is working to bring home an American citizen, Travis Timmerman, who was freed from prison earlier in the week in Syria. Jordan also announced that it will host a Syria Crisis Summit on Saturday that will include foreign ministers from numerous Western and Arab nations as well as Turkey. On the Truth social media platform, US President-elect Donald Trump said on Saturday that the United States should not get involved in the situation in Syria. India remains concerned at the evolving situation in West Asia, and attacks against commercial vessels in and around the Red Sea threaten freedom of navigation and impact trade. India's Minister of State for External Affairs, Kirtivardhan Singh, said that the government is closely monitoring the situation to mitigate its impact. US President Joe Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan held talks with Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv. NATO head Mark Rutte has warned that the US-led transatlantic alliance was not ready for the threats it would face from Russia in the coming years. Rutte called for a shift to a wartime mindset with much higher defense spending, saying future spending would have to be much higher than the current alliance target of 2%. Meanwhile, the United States has announced a new $500 million package of military aid for Ukraine on Thursday. US President Joe Biden on Thursday released a long-awaited strategy for countering anti-Muslim and anti-Arab hate, calling for urgent continued work to reduce discrimination and bias. In South Korea, a second impeachment motion against President Yoon Suk-yeol was formally submitted in Parliament on Friday. Chinese Defense Ministry spokesman on Friday said that the People's Liberation Army will not be absent and will not be soft in its fight against independence and for reunification. China criticized the Philippines for stoking conflicts in the region, claiming that Manila, backed by Washington, is stirring unrest at multiple locations. President Emmanuel Macron named centrist veteran François Bayrou as France's new Prime Minister on Friday. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva is recovering positively from his latest surgery on Thursday. The president had an intracranial drain removed without complications. Poland has signed a contract with US company General Atomics worth approximately $295 million to buy MQ-9B Sky Guardian drones. And time now for a short break here in Express News. The rest of the news on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. I'm Tanvi Taneja and you're watching Express News. Let's resume. New Delhi is witnessing its coldest morning of the season after temperatures dipped to 4.5 degrees Celsius on Thursday. Cold wave conditions are likely to persist until December 16th in parts of Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Isolated parts of Rajasthan will also likely face cold wave conditions until December 16th. Cold wave also gripped the North Indian hill town Shimla after the region received a fresh spell of snowfall. The India Meteorological Department has predicted heavy rainfall across multiple southern states including Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. The Weather Department had predicted above normal rainfall in most parts of peninsular India, west central India and some areas of east central and northeast India. New York is experiencing heavy snowfall covering homes and vehicles in a residential area in Lakeview. The National Weather Service issued a lake-effect snow warning for Erie, Genesee, Wyoming, Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties with 2 to 3 feet of snow possible in some areas. The citywide light show in Macau has officially kicked off, creating a vibrant and colourful atmosphere for all to enjoy. The Light Up Macau event features light installations crafted by artists from abroad under the theme Symphony of Time and Space. People with missing teeth may be able to grow new ones, say Japanese dentists testing a pioneering drug they hope will offer an alternative to dentures and implants. Japanese dentists are administering an experimental medicine to adult test subjects that they say has the potential to jumpstart the growth of these concealed teeth. The pottery craft of Manong people in Vietnam's Dak Lak province has been officially recognized as a natural, intangible cultural heritage. Their village stands as the last remaining ancient pottery center in the Central Highlands region. A unique, historically significant item, a tinselled garland worn by Mahatma Gandhi during the iconic Dandi March of 1930, remains open for bids after failing to meet its expected guide price at a UK auction this week. This garland, made of delicate folded paper wrappers inscribed in Gujarati, is believed to have been gifted to Gandhi as the Salt March passed near India's Ahmedabad. 3 dinosaur skeletons from the Jurassic period were sold at a London auction for a total of £8.4 million. All 3 dinosaur skeletons were mounted and on display at Christie's London showrooms the day before the Jurassic icons Allosaurus and Stegosaurus auction. The lion cubs at London Zoo received a festive early Christmas treat this week, delighting in gifts designed to stimulate their senses. 9-month-old cubs Mali, Snai and Shanti, who are experiencing their first Christmas, were given special presents infused with the scents of frankincense and myrrh. In a workshop in a village in the Czech mountains, artisans created delicate Christmas decorations and ornaments with glass beads using a technique that goes back more than a century. This intricate art form has been passed down through generations since the 1870s, making it a key part of the region's rich cultural heritage, handcrafted designs that adorn Christmas trees around the world. Millions of devotees gathered at the Basilica in Mexico City to mark the 493rd anniversary of the Virgin of Guadalupe feast day. A Kathak dance recital was organized on the banks of the scenic Feva Lake in Pokhara in Nepal. India's Vaishno Devi shrine in Jammu and Kashmir sees over 90 lakh devotees for the third straight year. The Chief Executive Officer of the Shrine Board said that efforts are underway to provide more facilities for the devotees and that the footfall in Katra will increase with the improvement in connectivity. The Pushpa 2 actor Allu Arjun has been released on interim bail hours after being charged over the stampede accident at Hyderabad's Sandhya Theatre, which resulted in the death of a woman. Payal Kapadia's All We Imagine as Light has been nominated for the 2025 Critics' Choice Awards. Rani Mukherjee is all set to reprise Inspector Shivani Shivaji Roy as the Yash Raj Films announced the third chapter in the Mardani franchise. Superstar Rajnikant's fun new avatar from upcoming film Coolie is all out in a glimpse video titled Chikki to Wife, composed by Anirudh Ravichandar. As part of the grand centenary of showman Raj Kapoor, RK Films began the 3-day RK Film Festival today, featuring his iconic films across 40 cities and 135 cinemas. On Thursday, Netflix held the immersive premiere cum fan event in Los Angeles, where the star cast of Squid Game walked the red carpet for the upcoming season 2. Oscar Award-nominated actor Jude Law has been honoured with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The Gen Z Spider-Man Tom Holland has come up with his own production company titled Billy 17. Taylor Swift has become the most decorated artist in Billboard Music Awards history as she won 10 awards, including Top Artist and Top Billboard Album last night. The Writers Guild of America has urged Hollywood's major studios to take a stand on the purported use of their members' works as AI training data. On to sports news now. The third India vs Australia Border Gavaskar Trophy will begin on Saturday in Brisbane. The 5-match series is currently levelled at 1-1. Indian cricket team are beset by worries over the fitness of star bowler Jasprit Bumrah. The pacer went down to the turf, grabbing at his thigh while bowling in the last test. Josh Hazlewood will return to Australia's playing 11 for the third test against India in Brisbane after overcoming the side strain that ruled him out of the second match. As per the Google Year in Search, Indian cricketer Hardik Pandya is the most searched Indian sportsperson across the globe in the year 2024. Seamer Matthew Potts replaced Chris Wokes in the squad as England announced their playing 11 for the final test match of the series against New Zealand. Former fast bowler Aqib Javed has been appointed Pakistan's interim test coach after Jason Gillespie's resignation. The West Indies wrapped up a clean sweep of their one-day international series against Bangladesh after they won the third and final match in St. Kitts. India will take on Japan in the semi-finals of the Women's Junior Asia Cup after they thrashed Thailand 9-0 in their fourth pool match in Muscat. Defending champions Barcelona eased past Hammer by 3-0 to clinch the final spot in the quarter-finals of the Women's Champions League. Arsenal comfortably beat Vålerenga to win their fourth straight Champions League game thanks to Alessi Russo's double goals. Manchester City's 2-0 victory against St Polton got overshadowed due as City skipper Alex Greenwood picked up knee injury. Forward Rasmus Højlund scored twice as Manchester United came back from a goal down to secure a 2-1 win against Victoria Pilsen in the Europa League. Former China coach and Everton midfielder Li Te was sentenced to 20 years in prison for giving and receiving bribes. 9 players, including 3 times Grand Slam champion Stan Wawrinka, were handed wildcards to compete at the next month's Australian Open. And Summer McIntosh of Canada has set a second world record at the World Swimming Championships by becoming the second woman to win 200-meter butterfly event in less than 2 minutes. With that, it's a wrap in this edition of Express News. News and updates continue on DD India. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.